Is that too bright, or how's the lighting? Good?
Looks good on my end.
Does it? Okay.
Let me check yours.
Yeah.
Yeah, looks good.
Okay, should be good. Okay, this little guy, a little live on IG. Oh, good Lord. On stories. What in the mother? Doggone it.
You got it?
Got to go live here.
Hit the mirror one.
Yeah, hit the mirror here. Okay, got to be smarter than the phone. What's up, guys? All right. I'm going live talking about crazy stuff. Going to go live on TikTok. Okay. Live there. Okay. All right. We are live today. Finally, we had some technical issues last week. Our Facebook group logged me out where I couldn't even log back in, and they shut down our Facebook group account and our StreamYard account for like 5 freaking days. And we are finally back. We finally figured out how to do it. There you go. Always be disarming. All right. So today we're going to talk about an important subject. So we're going live here on StreamYard on my desktop. We're going live inside our Facebook group, Sales Revolution. Got about 51,000 of you in there running around. We're going live on the Facebook business page, about 80-some thousand of you in there. My Facebook, our YouTube account, and LinkedIn all at the same time. I love StreamYard. Now we're also going live here on what we call the IG phone. So IG, we love you guys. Sell me that pin. I love that. And we're also going live on the TikTok phone over here with you folks over there. We love you guys on TikTok. We got to give you Snickers bars sometimes because you get a little fussy, a little angry, but we still love you. So today we're going to cover, write this down, 3 closing questions. I'm going to show you the difference. 3 closing questions that you can use for your industry to get your prospect to commit and take the next step to purchase what you're offering. Because if they don't do that, the problems stay the same. They stay in the status quo and nothing ever changes. I look like I'm St. Peter here. You sure that's not too bright? I look really bright. I'm looking bright there. I don't know, Blake. Okay, so let's talk about this. Now, if you are brand new to our Facebook group, that's a little bit better. Thank you. Thank you for darkening me there. If you're new to our Facebook group, or you just started following me on Instagram, or you started following me here on TikTok or YouTube or LinkedIn, you're like, who the hell is this guy in the Hugo Boss shirts? My name is Jeremy Miner. I'm the founder of 7th Level. I used to be the CEO. I got demoted from that 2 years ago. I'm no longer the CEO anymore. Matt is. I got demoted from being the chairman last month. I'm just the boring old founder guy. So I am the founder, and we're an organization that trains salespeople exactly like you. Okay. So we train sales professionals like you. We train sales executives like you. We train sales leaders like you. We train sales management like you, business owners like you, entrepreneurs, coaches, consultants. Okay. Tonality and the right questions is key. You're the GOAT. I don't know if I'm the GOAT. I could be. What else could I be besides the GOAT? Maybe I don't know. What's a good term for me? Maybe I look at myself as that's too cheesy. I look at myself as more of like the ostrich. You just like you think it's a nice, pretty ostrich, and then all of a sudden, like the freaking fastens, boom, it's right there. I'm more of the ostrich, not the goat. You got to call me the ostrich.
Like
I love ostriches.
Like sleeper.
It's like a sleeper. You don't know what's coming, and boom, it's there. All right, love it. All right, now here's what we're gonna do today. All right. So as a company, what we do is we help you and your teams transform the way you sell. What does that mean? It means learning specific skilled questions and techniques that work with human behavior rather than work against it. And what does that even mean? What does it mean to use techniques that work with human behavior rather than work against it? Because if we don't understand that, that's the reason why you're triggering so much sales resistance. Now that methodology is known as NEPQ. That stands for Neuro-Emotional Persuasion Questioning. Now we have to teach, it's not just the questions, but we have to teach you the right tone. How do you get your prospects at ease? How do you get them to let their guard down? Because there's certain questions that you have to ask in your sales process that are more of a curious tone. Can you walk me through? That's a curious tone. Now there's other questions and other parts of your sales process, whether you sell B2B or B2C, that it requires more of a skeptical tone, a more challenging tone. Then there's other questions, another part of the sales process where you're going to lean in and you're going to learn to have more of a concern tone. a tone that shows more empathy. Now, how do you know which questions to have the right tone? It's very important if you want to make way more than you are right now. I don't care if you're already making a few $100,000 a year. Once you learn what our clients know in your industry, you can make way more than that, I can assure you. Now, speaking of that, you want to start making your first 10 grand a month in commissions with what you sell. Or let's say you want to start making your first 15 grand every month, or the first 20 grand every month, or you want to start making 25 or 30,000 every month in your industry, or let's say 40 or 50,000 plus, because I can assure you we have clients in your industry that make that every single month. So if you want to be like them, message me directly right now. So if you're on IG or TikTok, message me directly right now. I'm not that cool, but you can message me. If you're on LinkedIn or the Facebook group or the Facebook business page or my Facebook, message me directly right now. If you're on YouTube, you can't message me. Can't message on YouTube. You got to join the Facebook group. Now, if you can't figure out how to message me because you're an old dude, you just can't figure out social media like me, I'm just making fun of myself, in the comments section, post hashtag NEPQ, and somebody will message you more details for specific training for your industry if you want to sell more. It's a free world. You don't have to learn advanced techniques to sell more. You can always keep at the same level. It's a free country, free countries. Okay, now let's jump into this. If you're on the live right now, I want you to go down to the comments section. Yes, our corporate offices are here in Scottsdale, Arizona. Well done. If you're on the live right now, I want you to go post hashtag live down in the comments section, whatever platform you're on. And if you're on the replay, go post hashtag replay. So if you're on the live right now, go post hashtag live on your phone. Until I see hundreds of hashtag lives, I'm just not going to start because it's 65 degrees out today. I could go golf. It's a really nice day in Scottsdale. I really love to golf. In fact, I'm taking golfing lessons starting in 2 weeks from a lady that's on the what's the women's PGA Tour? What's it called?
I think it's just
the LPGA or something.
I thought it was
Well, she's freaking good, so I'm gonna start taking lessons from her. Got to get better. So I better see hashtag live. Yeah, you're gonna make fun of me. Hashtag live, hashtag replay, and I want you to smash the heart button and smash the like button. So I want you to smash the heart button, smash the like button. LinkedIn user, have you ever worked with someone in the mortgage industry? Train thousands in that space. Train every industry on planet Earth right now, except underwater basket weaving. If anybody knows anybody in underwater basket weaving industry, let us know. It's the only industry we have not gotten into yet. Okay, enough about me. I know you guys don't care about me selfishly. You just care about yourself. Doggone it. Okay, so we're going to go over 3 questions to help your prospects internally commit and purchase what you're offering. Now, before we do that, before I go through any of this, let's go through a little bit of the background. You got to give me a hard stop at 42 after Blake because I have to get to that appointment. Okay, traditional selling techniques or repackaged consultative selling techniques cause salespeople to have to play the numbers game because they work actually against human behavior. Okay, now these techniques are designed to push your prospect forward rather than get your prospect to pull you in. And the techniques revolve around you going through the numbers to try and make a sale. Okay. Now type in the comment section, whatever platform you're on, and I'm going to move the IG phone over here so they can see that if you don't mind. Okay. Let's make sure they can see that whole bowl. I'll put them on me right now. Type in the chat if you're on IG, TikTok, or any of the other platforms here, YouTube, Facebook. If you've ever heard of the ABCs of closing, type in me if you've ever heard of the ABCs of closing. Type in me if you've ever heard of the ABCs of closing. I'm assuming that's all of you. Type in me in the comments if you've ever heard of the ABCs of closing. Okay, a lot of people are like that. Okay. Now, you know the old movie, Glengarry Glen Ross, took place in the 80s, early 90s. Alec Baldwin on the chalkboard, put that coffee down, coffee's for closers. Now, how can I communicate to you that the ABCs of closing is actually causing you to lose deals that you could be making? How can I communicate that to you without you getting upset with me? You see, selling is not adversarial. It's not you against the prospect trying to win them over so you can make money. That's what average salespeople do in our time and age. If you want to be a top 1% earning salesperson in your industry, you have to understand that selling is collaborative. You working with the prospect to help them find and solve problems they didn't realize they had. Now, that being said, does that mean when I was in my 17-year sales career, you might not know this, but in my 17-year sales career, in 4 different industries, 2 B2C, 2 B2B, I made a little bit under $33 million in straight commissions. I was a W-2 employee half the time. Their time, I negotiated 1099 because it's better for my taxes. Do you think I was closing the sale at the end? Do you think I just got to the end and said, well, John, if you're interested, I guess call me back, or, well, I guess email me back if you want to do something together? Well, that obviously doesn't work either, right? So we got to figure out what does, okay? Here's one thing that we have to understand. When you put sales pressure on a human being, what does the human being typically do? They retreat from that sales pressure, right? Just like if you are interested in dating somebody and you constantly text them all the time and you push and push and push, what do they typically do back in the very beginning? Because you don't have any trust and credibility yet. They run the other way. The same is true in sales. And what exactly do you do when you feel pressure from a salesperson? Here's what you do. You do one of 2 things. Let me know if I'm right. When you feel sales pressure from a salesperson trying to sell you something, you either, 1, you get defensive, right? You throw out objections and you reject what they offer. Type in me if that's you. That's usually more of an A-type personality that does that. If you're more of a passive personality, here's what you do. Oh, that looks really good. Can you send me some information? I'm really interested. And let me go through the information and I'll call you back. I'm really interested. Is that you? And then you email them and you start to text them and call them back and they never respond. They just go MIA. Well, that's because you haven't learned the difference between putting external sales pressure on a prospect compared to your questioning ability and your tonality ability that causes so much internal tension with the prospect from where they are compared to where they want to be. And the gap is so big that they feel massive urgency to want to change. Massive difference in external sales pressure rather than you getting them to feel internal tension to want to change. Massive difference. When you learn that, selling becomes really easy. All right, so today I'm going to show you a few different things. All right, and I'm going to do something a little bit differently here. I mean, I've got to kind of jump around here because I've got to leave in about 12 minutes. One thing I want you to write down, then I'm going to give you some questions on the back here, and I'm going to show you why you're going to use them and for what situations. Okay, you're not going to use them all in different situations or just certain situations. One thing I want you to understand, today's consumer does not want to be talked at and sold to. They want to be asked, heard, and most importantly, understood. Now, you have to have a skilled conversation with them. You can't wing it and hope and pray it works out either. So in the new model of selling, when I'm talking about NEPQ, we don't even use the term closing. I don't like that term. I think it has a negative stigma. I think it dehumanizes your prospect. Because if you heard somebody at Best Buy saying, oh yeah, I just closed her, or I just closed that guy, how would you feel? Just like another number. Don't be another. I just don't like it. Okay. Now, here's what we use instead. We use the term commitment, not closing. Commitment. Write that down. It's a commitment for the prospect to take the next step and purchase your solution so they get their problem solved and they get where they want. And it's absolutely crucial that you remember the commitment, or AKA closing, is actually only about 5% of your sales process. And why is it such a small percent of your process? Because the sale was already made in the prospect's mind during your engagement process, like your discovery process, as you ask skilled questions that built a gap from where they are compared to where they want to be. We call that their current state compared to their objective state. Now, what's the gap in between? all these newfound problems that your questioning ability has allowed them to see they had that they didn't know before that conversation. Okay. Now, commitment can take one of two forms depending on if you sell B2C, business to consumer, or B2B. It could, number one, and maybe, I don't know if I wrote this down. I don't think I wrote this down. No, I didn't write that down. That's fine. Number one, it takes a commitment to take a series of intermediate action steps, which leads to the sale. Now, we call those micro commitments or NEPQ micro commitments. So especially if you sell B2B, okay, you're not closing on the first call, usually not on the second call, especially if you're selling to large enterprise. Depends on if you sell SMB or large enterprise. But they're taking smaller steps, micro commitments that leads to the larger step of purchasing. It could be a next step demo if you sold SaaS. It could be a next step proposal. It could be a next step meeting with the board. It could be a next step meeting with the department head. Just depends on your industry. Those are smaller commitments that lead to the ultimate commitment to purchase what you're offering them. Now, it could also mean this. It could mean a commitment to purchase your solution and do business with you right away. Okay? Now, whatever you do, depending on if you're selling B2C or B2B, you have to ask for a commitment for them to do something. Otherwise, the sale gets stalled and you lose it. Okay. And then they go off into never land. Okay. All right. Now, let's say that you're in a sales role. That's not a one-call close. Okay. I'm going to show you some questions back here if you're in more than a one-call close. And I'm going to show you a one-call close too. Okay. Because we have clients in all different industries, B2B and B2C. So let's say that you're in B2B and you need to schedule a next appointment. Okay. All right, John. John, that was a good conversation. I understand your situation better now. With your permission, what I'd like to suggest is the next step. So with your permission, now this is just one way. I'm going to show you some different ways. John, with your permission, what I'd like to suggest is the next step is could mean different things. Review more about your business plan that we discussed, if that's the type of industry you're in. Look more closely at the XYZ product and how it can help you solve the ABC challenge you mentioned, depending on what you sell. Okay, see how I'm just adding that in? Put together a proposal for different options that we have to solve XYZ problem. Have a meeting to review this with your board of directors so they understand ABC. Next step would be schedule a demo to go over how we might be able to help solve XYZ situation. And you don't want to make it generalized like that. Those are just general questions because, like I said, we train every industry, but you would plug in what they said to make that very specific. Now, you want your prospect to feel that they're part of that process rather than you trying to force them into that process. Okay. Now, if you don't understand NEPQ before that and you go in with your traditional selling skills and push, then try to do that, not going to work as well. That's why you want to understand all of it, not just little nibbles. You don't understand all of it, you're not going to have the same results that clients do who are in your industry that know all of it, right? Just obvious, all right? Now, you can also ask little checking for agreement questions throughout the conversation, okay? Now, at the end of that, I didn't even go over this with you. At the end of that, the next step would be blah, 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 blah. Would that be appropriate? Would you be opposed to that? Would that help you? Would that work for you? See, I'm asking for their permission. No, that would not work for us. No, that would not be appropriate. People don't say that at that point because you build a gap in that discovery call. Okay, that's just basic stuff right there. Okay, now, well, let's skip a part. I'm going to skip some parts. I got 6 minutes. Blake's telling me to cut it here. All right, now, let's say you get to the end of your sales process. Whether you sell B2C, whether you sell B2B, doesn't really matter. Okay. Doesn't really matter. Actually, I'm going to give you a few more questions before that. I'm just being nice here. Okay. I wrote a few of these down. I don't want to skip them for you. I didn't write them up here. I want to skip it for you. You can ask checking for agreement question. What are your thoughts on that? Are you with me on that? How do you see that part benefiting you the most, though? Does that make sense, or do you want me to go over that with you again? Do you feel comfortable with what we've covered so far? See, those are called checking for agreement questions. Okay. So you know that they're on the same page with you. Okay. If you notice that they had some concerns. Now, how do you notice if they have some concerns? You have to learn how to read body language, if you can see them, and you have to learn how to interpret their tone. Because let's say that you're presenting in front of a boardroom, you sell B2B, okay? and you're talking to 10 different people, and you notice Kayla over there in the very end looks up when you go through a slide. She looks up at it and kind of rolls her eyes, kind of looks down. Well, Kayla's part of that decision-making process. You probably want to see what's going on in her mind, don't you? Or do you want to just hope and pray that it's not a big deal and you hope and pray it goes through at the end? Probably, I wouldn't want to. You have no control. So I might go to hey, Kayla, I apologize. I know we haven't met yet. When I went over that slide where I was talking about XYZ, you seemed a bit hesitant when I went over that. Can you tell me maybe what's behind that, just so I have an understanding? Notice how my tone drops. And it's more of a concern tone that shows empathy. See what I just did there? Well, I didn't understand this. And then you can help them resolve the concern. Okay, that's just one technique to do that. Okay, so let's say you get into the sales process. Time to commit them to take the next step and purchase what you're offering. You lean in and say something like this. Do you feel like this could be the answer for you? Let me do it again. Notice my tone. Well, you guys can't even see me over here, moving around. Do you feel like this could be the answer for you? Now, this right here, verbal pause. Verbal pause allows the prospect to think deeper about the question. Because if I just said, do you feel like this could be the answer for you? Well, it's a knee-jerk question, too fast. I'm going to get a knee-jerk response. Yeah, I think it is. Do you feel like this could be the answer for you? Notice how my tone goes down. That's a verbal pause when I pause there. Okay? Now, once you've learned NEPQ, you're going to get one of two responses, and it's designed to do this. They're going to say, yeah, I really do. Or they're going to say, I do, but, and they're going to tell you their objection. They're going to tell you their real concern. That's why it's designed to ask it in that format as a close-ended closing question. I know that you guys have all read, never ask a close-ended question. Okay. That's what average salespeople do these days. Never ask it a closing. Got to be all open. It's designed to do one of two things. Do you feel like this could be the answer for you? One or two answers. Nobody's going to say it this way. No, I don't. Okay, I got 2 minutes. They're going to be like, yeah, I do. Or, yeah, but I'm not sure we have the money. They're going to tell you the real concern. Do you want to know the real concern? Yes, so you can help them overall. Let's say they say that. Yeah, I do, but I'm not sure we have the money. Well, money aside, why do you feel like it is, though? That's a probing question. Well, the reason we like it is because of blah, 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 blah. Then, see, this is a probing question, NEPQ probing question. Well, hold on. Why do you feel like it is, though? Let's say like, yeah, I really like it. Okay, but why do you feel like it is, though? It's more of a skeptical talk. Well, the reason why we like it is because of this, because of that, because of this. Now, then I want to ask a second commitment question. I've got to hurry, okay? Here's the one typically we train most industries, and it just depends. We make it more specific to your industry. Well, okay, yeah, I really like it. Okay, but hold on. Why do you feel like it is, though? Well, because of blah, blah. Okay, but what specific part, besides blank, you repeat back one thing they liked, what specific parts of what we went over today do you feel like are really going to help you the most? Well, I also like this part, and I like this part, and I like this aspect. Or you can say this, okay, I mean, do you feel like this is something that you can do? Now, it could be, you could be have, do, use, depending on your product or service, your industry. Do you feel like this is something that you can have that will really get you guys where you're wanting to go? Do you feel like this is something that you can do that's really going to get you where you're wanting to go? Just depends on your industry. See how that works? This is a really good one. Okay, but what specific parts of what we went over do you feel like are really going to help you the most? Oh, this, blah, 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 blah. Okay, well, I don't really have anything else to go over with you. Okay, 1 minute. 1 minute. I got to hurry. Well, I don't really have anything else to go over with you. It looks like we covered the basis of what you were looking for in X and Y and Z. Repeat back what they wanted. Really, the next step would be is we'd make some type of arrangement for your whatever it's called that you sell. You can do a credit card, debit card, bank wire, invoice, depending on if you sell B2C or B2B. You relanguage that a little bit. Okay. You can use a blah, 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 blah. Then at that step, we would blah, 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 blah. And you tell them the next steps. Then after that, you say, would that be appropriate, or how would you like to proceed from here? Or you can say, would that be appropriate? Just a simple question. Most of the time, they're like, yeah, that'd be appropriate. Or they're going to say, okay, we're good. Or they're going to say, yeah, but, and then they're going to tell you another concern. And now you're there to help them overcome it. Okay, folks, I got to go. I've got an appointment. I'm already late. Thank you for knocking me off, because I would usually go 10 minutes. I'd be getting in trouble by not being at this appointment. All right. Just went over something basic. We will go live in the Facebook group tomorrow with a client. Every Wednesday, we interview a new client from a completely different industry, 52 freaking weeks a year. Sometimes we do 2 clients a week. Okay. Tomorrow, I'm going to be interviewing a gentleman that's only been in our virtual training courses, our Advanced Inner Circle, for about 4 months. He started around $7,000 a month, right when he came to training. The next month, he went to 11. The next month, he went to 16. I think in the month of December, I think he went to 23. And then this month, I think he's over 30. Okay. Next month, he'll be over 40. We're going to interview and break down his sales process that we've taught him. And he's going to give you some different questions that you can use in that format to take for your industry. Now, you got to be in the Facebook group tomorrow. We don't go live on Instagram and TikTok very often. So if you're on Instagram and TikTok, if you want to see those interviews and get golden nuggets and Q&As, you'll need to probably join the Facebook group. Love this, Jeremy. You're great. Thanks very much, Ella. That's very kind of you to say. I'm not that cool. I'm an ostrich, not the goat. Anyways, I'm the ostrich, not the goat. All right. Now, you can't self-label yourself a goat. That's just, when people are like, oh, I'm the goat. I'm like, dude, you can't call yourself the goat. Freaking Michael Jordan doesn't call himself the GOAT. LeBron James doesn't call himself the GOAT. Tom Brady doesn't call him. Yeah, it's like saying the best company. Like, people can say that. Your clients say that. But you can't say that yourself. It just means you're really not. I hate when people say that. It's so annoying. Okay. So if you want to join the Facebook group, let's have somebody in the team post the Facebook group on IG and TikTok. Maybe Felicia, if you can do that. You are the GOAT. You're funny. Thank you very much. Very kind. So go to salesrevolution.pro. Go to salesrevolution.pro. I'm going to have somebody drop the link in the Facebook group, they're in the Facebook. Let's have somebody drop the link on LinkedIn. Let's have somebody drop the link on TikTok, because they're asking for it. And let's have somebody drop the link on IG real quick. You got any roofers in their group? Yes, we train thousands in roofing too. So Facebook user, whoever asked that, we train every industry. When I say every industry, that means, drum roll, every industry. That's what that means. I love you guys, but that's what that means. Every industry means every industry. Forbes says there's 158 different industries. Subsets of those, we're in all of those at this point. That's how big the company's gone. Do you have long-term care sales in your group? Yes, every industry. Going to be hard on you, Valerie. Yes, every industry. Do you train food sales? No. Shannon, that's the only industry we do not train. We purposely say do not train the food sales industry that's in B2B, because we just want them to stay out in the jungle. Just let them figure it out on their own. We purposely banned food salespeople. I'm just joking. Okay, I got to go. All right, you want to learn more advanced skills? Because I just give you little nibbles on these. That's very basic stuff I gave you. If you want to start making your first 10 grand, first 15 grand every single month, I'm always cheeky with you guys. Your first 20 grand every single month, or 30 grand every single month, message me directly right now. If you're on IG, TikTok, LinkedIn, Facebook group, Facebook, message me directly right now. YouTube, you got to join the Facebook group, because you can't message me on YouTube. Okay. So go to salesrevolution.pro, and we can message you over details. If you want to learn more advanced training with what you sell. Guys, I got to get out of here. That's it. It's over. See you tomorrow. Love you guys. TikTok, we'll see you guys soon. Okay. YouTube, we'll see you guys soon. LinkedIn, Facebook group, we'll see you tomorrow. We'll post about it. It's at 6 p.m.